Hello friends, those back pages here. I hope you're well. As you can tell, my voice is shot. See you, Chicago. And we did. We certainly did. So I'm going to record this anyway, even though my voice is shot. Well, I didn't realize it was this bad, but while the memories are fresh in my head, I want to get them down on video and share with you guys. I got back late last night and got some rest. Did some thinking about how I'm going to record this video. Yeah, so here we are. Let me just start by saying thank you. Thank you to all you fine collectors that stopped and had a conversation. Stopped to have a conversation with me during the week. It really does make a difference as far as participation and enjoyment and everything, and connecting with people. And it's really important to form these friendships that can last for a long time. So before I go into the pickups, I wanted to say a couple things and show off a couple cards that reiterate what I was just saying. I heard today that the 2023 National set the all-time attendance record for the National. Can't say I'm surprised. I will say that now that they almost doubled the capacity of the Rosemont Center, it didn't seem as full as it might have, or certainly it would have, if they had kept it in the one room. So basically the size of the new area is probably maybe 50% the size of the old area, maybe more. It's really tough to tell. And it could definitely, if they had only the National in that one room, the new room, you wouldn't complain like, oh, this is too small. So, yeah, attendance record. And I want to say one thing before we get going. 2021 was crazy. It was in Chicago, trade nights up the wazoo, everywhere, every night. Packed. Now we're 2 years later, and the hotels after the shows, they were getting antsy, shutting it down on some occasions. And were the trade nights very packed? Yes. Were they like 2021? No. And that was to be expected. Now, point being, of all the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of, for lack of a better term, kids with their Pelly cases going around trading, the ones that were there this time, 2 years later, have stuck it out. I think the majority of them are here for good. And I think that's a good thing. The easy buck is gone now. So you're putting more work into it, more hustle. And that's good. Just want to get that out there, let you guys marinate on that a bit. I know a lot of us tend to frown upon, look down upon the Pelly boys, and we kid, but we all start somewhere. So maybe that's where that generation starts. So yeah, the show was packed. It was awesome. They did have the AC issue, which wore us out quicker than normal. But we were resilient. We stayed. We had a great time. We soaked in the atmosphere. And just, I always say the one thing you cannot buy at the National, you just simply cannot buy it, no matter how much money you have, is time. So you want to make, the best of your time there, because once the show is over, you have to wait a whole year. And that's where we're at today. We get the post-con sads. We're tired. We're worn down, but we'd do it again tomorrow if we could. So let me show these off before I do a summary of my pickups. All but the ones from yesterday would be out already, but we'll talk and show a little bit more. Now, the importance of having friends that you don't get from just buying on the internet because it's cheaper is you have friends that go to other shows during the year. Earlier this summer, my friend Don, he found this at a show. 2002 Bowman Chrome Refractor Pools in a Nearman 7. It's numbered to 500 on the back. So he found this and he says, "Hey, you need this?" I said, "Yeah, pick that up for me. I'll send you the PayPal." No problem. I did. He brought it with him to the show and hand delivered it, so we didn't have to put it in the mail system again. Second year, Bowman Chrome Refractor. Most people, the first year, Bowman Chrome Autograph Refractor is a little out of reach. Here's another one. 2020 Optic Hollow Herbert. JT picked this up for me at a show. Probably about a week before the National, maybe 2. And we worked out a cash trade deal for it. And I get to add that to the collection. My friend Logan, NASCAR King, hands down the greatest NASCAR collector of all time. It's really not open for debate. He gifted me a card I did not own. He said, "You have to have this because you don't have one in your collection." And it's a Jeff Gordon rookie from 1991 Tracks. He was right. I don't have it. And now I do. Thank you again, Logan. Very generous of you. So, let's get underway. The show, as you could tell from the Day Zero video, showroom floor very large. And if you were there, what I'm about to describe will make sense. If you're not, I can't reiterate the distance. So I was on the this was like 4, not too long before they were closing for the day. It was like 4:15, 4 o'clock, somewhere around there, Tuesday afternoon. And the phone rings, and it's JT. So I know it's important. Pick it up. He says, I found something for you. He said what it was, and you've watched the videos, but you'll know. He said, I can just say it. He said, "I found a green cob not green cob, I found a green Cy Young that might meet your criteria. I think it does. Come over here if you can. Where are you?" Type of thing. Told me where he was, and I was near the aqua carpet. Used to be the red carpet back in 19. And it was literally catty corner in the other end of the show. So, all right, let me get over there because I know where it is. Jeez. All right. So it took me about 10 minutes to walk there. Maybe 8. And I got there and I was, oof. Wow. Just the sheer size of the showroom floor. I'm here. Let's go. Let me see it. So, dealer takes it out of the showcase. And it's this T206 Sweet Cat back. Removed from an album at some point. It's got some paper loss up there. Really doesn't matter. And it's a 150 series, so the 150 series are known for amazing registration. And you can see it there. It's just a very rich green. Will look nice next to my green cob. It's accurately graded. It's a 1.5 due to centering. It does have a crease that runs, doesn't quite touch his hair. Back looks nice. Got some staining, and probably from glue and album removal. But yeah, so that was the first pickup of the show. And you know, it does have the baggie, and it does have a mylar sleeve on the back, so you can see the wrinkling there. But when you get this, for the price I paid was about $600 under VCP, and it meets all my criteria. This will be the one card in my collection that represents Cy Young. I'm trying to, especially for the pre-war guys, I'm trying to get one card that will represent them in my collection. At least one. Sometimes more, but you know, it's good to start with one. So I got that. I'd call that a big boy card, so he gets to participate in the rest of the show. Unless the glare is too bad, but let's see if it's better over here. Yeah, that's better. So, that night in the hotel, sitting around in the room, we get to talking. Hey, what are your goals for the show? What do you feel? You know, all the usual stuff. And I tell my close friends that with me, I'd like to trade up for a Mantle, the 52 Mantle. I'd like to trade up for one. What? Are you crazy? No, this, that, and another. And I showed them the box of slabs, which I showed in its own video, but you know, a stack of slabs. And again, the importance of going to these shows, meeting people, making connections, you know, almost like networking. It just pays off. You know, I was like, all right, well, I'm going to try to trade up for a Mantle, 52 Mantle. I know it's difficult. It's difficult to find a dance partner in this type of thing where you want to be you want to be trade, no, you know, not cash and stuff like that, because most dealers would want some of each or whatever, you know, or all cash. It's up to them. It's their card. They do what they want. And my friend Andy, she blinded me with refractors, suggested I go to this particular dealer because he had posted a handful of mantles on Instagram that he was going to be bringing to the show to sell. Sure enough, my other friend Dustin knows this dealer. He's like, all right, I'll just send him. Let me fire him off a text. Eric's looking to trade into a Mantle. Let me know if that's something, you know, you'd be interested in. Gets back to him. Says, yeah, let's tomorrow 9:30 a.m. Because we were there early, he wasn't there yet. It wound up being around 9:30 a.m. And hey, I hear, you know, he knows who I am, so by sight, he's, hey, Dustin says you're looking to trade into a Mantle. Yes. You know, what do you have? I show him. He shows me one Mantle first. He goes, I have this one, and it's a PSA 4. I was like, oh, not going to be able to pull that one off. And so he takes out, he has another one that is a SGC1 that has stereotypical, you know, pinhole, top to bottom off-centered, pinhole, a push pin, not even a pin, like a push pin at the top, because you could see the wear from the circle, and then another pinhole at the bottom. So that had been hung up somewhere at one point in its life. And then I said, no, he had another one, and wound up being this one. And as soon as I saw it, I said, yeah, that the centering, you know, we can get into this sticker nonsense at another time, but the centering looks good. The color looks great. It's got some snow. I mean, you want to think of it as clouds in the background, you can, but it is something that is required. I don't like to down talk cards, but to make something a 1, something has to be I don't say wrong with it, but the defect, I suppose, is a good way to say it. But I don't know if it'll show off. I mean, it's a little bunted this corner. It doesn't really matter to me. It's got some creasing right here away from the face. And this is a card I didn't think I'd ever own. And yeah, a little more than about a week ago or so, I really, I've been watching some content where guys are trading up into bigger cards. And I was like, well, you know what? Can I possibly trade into a Mantle? Turns out I could. I did give up a lot. You're not going to get this kind of card if you don't. You can't give someone, for example, $300 $100 cards and say, hey, here's 3 $100 cards. Let me take this Mantle. It does not work that way. I happened to run into a dealer that, just as the show was about to start, was able to give him a severe liquid quality for this, which is obviously, not a stinker. So, there's the back. Some stain there. The back is pretty well centered as well. And just, it was such an elation, the feeling of elation when I was able to I agreed to the trade and made it happen. I was able to bring this home. I was able to share it with my dad, which meant a lot to me. As someone who's been, a serious collector for the most part, for going on 40 years, it's just something that I'm very, very proud to have in my collection. And I think it looks great, but everyone who owns one of these thinks it looks great, so you can't really take my opinion on it. But it just looks, it's a 52 Mantle. It goes beyond baseball cards. It's a piece of Americana, really. And they always say aim high and shoot for the best and stuff like that. So yeah, that's something else. That's too much glare, but whatever. I want to have that on display there for tonight's episode. So you would think that after getting those 2 cards, hey, maybe that's it. Well, not necessarily, but I did walk around on feeling like I was on cloud 9 for a while, and yeah, I mean, it was something else. It really was something else. And I had a few friends that were there during the trade, so they were there, and then I would be walking around and people say, hey, congratulations on the trade, Eric. Shake the hand, fist bump. It's like, what are you talking about? Oh, I heard about the Mantle trade. so yeah, I mean, the word got around in my network of friends, and it was wonderful. And passed it around a bit. Everyone wanted to see the Mantle. That makes sense. And so, the show went on. And let's see. Next up, I guess I'm just going to go through the pile. I had wanted, I handed in a very, let's say, 37 card CGC submission, which I did a reveal on. I think it was day 3, day 4, maybe I have CGC in the title. So, at some point in the future, I'll do a video. Maybe we'll break that down more, but not tonight. So, they're working on it as far as they told me on tobacco-sized cards. But any small card right now, you don't give the CGC because they're going to put it in a baggie 1,000%. And it defeats the purpose of their plastic, which is simply the best in the game. So I gave this to my friend Don, who was doing a SGC submission. And I wanted to get this slabbed up because I picked it up raw on Sport Lots of all places. And since he's not in the 18 on and Ginter, I had to try to get something to represent my collection for Soto. And I went with the 2019 Mini No Number. And, it's got no number. The stated print run, it's not serial number. The stated print run is 50. Whether that's true or not, no one will ever know. But this, it's good to have this one in the collection, have it slabbed up, and I prefer it would be in a Frosty PSA, but for $150, no thank you. So I went with this, and it came back. The one thing I always say about SGC, you want quick turnaround. That's the one. They're the one to use. Your opinions may vary on the actual product itself, but there's no need to go into that now. So I was able to add that, have that slabbed up in the collection. As a surprise to no one, I did not buy any BGS. But I was looking for, gold refractors. And there were some, and I had JT have eyes. Don was out, had eyes out for me, and there were some 10s in there, which were not surprisingly super overpriced, as you think they would be. But at the YouTube get together Thursday night, I was able to land the deal with JT and add this to the collection. This red refractor, color match, PSA 9, fine 9. And these are numbered to 5. See, I couldn't find a gold, but I was able to get a red. Funny how that works. So one of the many days, walking around with Don, we ran across a dealer that had 2 of these, both in the same grade, and 2003 Topps Pristine refractor, which, literally will blind you with refractor. 20 years ago. This is 20 years old. It's just a shame that Topps can't make anything like this now. They just refuse to. There's a number to 99 on the back, so we both picked up a copy of this. He did show it off, his copy, in the his recap video. And some other real Blazers, as far as he's a big pre-war guy, so a lot of Blazers. Then walking around some more. One of the cards that I had 3 Ohtani cards I wanted to buy. With that, I had 3 cards in mind, and I wound up finding one of them. And it's this action variation from 2018 Heritage. And technically this came out before he even played, which there was some controversy. I think this one is particularly underrated. He has one there's pitching from the high number series. The production run is probably about the same for both. It's not numbered, but depending on who you believe, it's 1,500 to 2,000 copies. And this is a first generation CSG, or now CGC flip, where they have the subgrades, 10, 9, 5s across the board. So by their definition, this is a gem mint card. I could have paid $10 to have it reholdered at the show, but I decided to keep it in this slab because the slab is the same. The centering is amazing. And this was quite a bit less than what a PSA 9 goes for. So again, I get it. CSG, now CGC, that's part of the problem. So, they have the stigma. They're currently in the 3rd generation, year 3, but I think they're probably done mixing that up. I would think so. They finally got their formula right. Best plastic in the game, as I said a bazillion times. And it's almost like you're holding the card raw in your hand, but it's slabbed up. So I can't really say enough about that. The other ones I wanted to get was a Top Series 18 Top Series 2 Gold number 700, which I did not, and a 2017 Bowman Mega in a 9, which is a comic card now, so I did not. The actual last card I picked up, I'll leave that for last. Let's see. I didn't find out until very late on Saturday that, PSA and whatnot were doing a team up picture promotion. So I went ahead and got my picture taken with that guy over there. Just some verbiage on the back. This was free, but I didn't know about it until everyone had gone home. Let's see. Just some more of the goat meat that I always talk about. You can't really lose. Tom Brady Ice should be his last Prism card. Numbered to 99. I do love the blue ice. I didn't see a ton of it, especially in non-gem form. Happy to add that one. While walking around one of the days, I guess we're at the point now where it's just going to be one of the days. I found this die cut 1994 SP die cut red Griffey. These are all in baggies just due to the nature of the card. But when I see these and it was under $100, I just can't say no. I believe this is my 5th one in various grades, 5s to 8. Just, it's very, in my opinion, it's one of the more important inserts from the early days of where we are now as a hobby. A friend of mine is selling his Jeter collection. He has quite the Jeter collection, but his kids are not interested, so he's moving on. So I added a couple cards from it. And this 2013 Topps Chrome Black Refractor. This was the year they numbered it to 100. 42 of 100, so 2, kidding. They bounce around all the years, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Hopefully they actually should bring these back. They look nice. I know they have the Heritage Blacks, but speaking of the Heritage Blacks, here's the 18 Pujols. Just these Heritage cards, a little underappreciated right now. This is numbered to 6 to 9, and yeah, added that. But that got in the way of the other card I got from. Well, I might as well go for that. Like here's the 2000. I didn't get this from John, but I picked it up from the same dealer I got that Pujols from, so I was able to art of the bundle. Was able to get a better price having both of these, and these are numbered to 549. So yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I mean, it's pretty weird. But here's an earlier days Cabrera. I really like this 2002 to 2007. Really 2002 to 2006. These refractors it put to shame anything short of gilded that Topps puts out today. But the other card I did get from John was this 1997 Bowman Chrome International Refractor. Really happy to have. I would love a Bonds and Griffey of this, but yeah, not cheap. Not numbered, not cheap, but this is card number 1 of the now infamous Bowman Chrome. Famous, I guess. Everyone knows what Bowman Chrome is now. This is the first ever Bowman Chrome card, number 1. So, with the American flag there in the back, this is just a beautiful card. Just shiny, just etching, outlining, etching. You can see it there on the sleeve. They just did a great job with those back then. Let's see. Picked up this. I didn't see a lot of these. Like 2007 654. Here's a Ichiro blue refractor right before the change. And these are numbered to 150. 99 of 150. I do have one of these in the collection, but again, can't hurt to have another one. There are a limited amount of them to go around, and you know, stated print run is 150, but that's saying that if every pack was opened. Walking around, I ran into the manufacturers of these. It's the Cardsmith's Bob Ross Series 1. There's 2 packs in here. So I figured that would be something cool to have. So I went ahead and picked that up as I knock over Cy Young Award winner. So let's see, Sunday. Let's do some hockey during the week. I was looking for the exclusives that I like to show off, but I didn't find any. There was a dealer last year in the AC that was 100% hockey. He literally had every Young Gun from 1990 until last year available for sale, pretty much, which is impressive if you know anything about Young Guns hockey. You know, he had Heatley, Illichuk, and everybody. So, but he wasn't there this year, and by Saturday afternoon, we had walked the whole floor, and I didn't see him. Maybe I missed him, but what I did find was this Ovechkin 2020 Metal Universe Retro. You know, they do the retro because they got to drive that into the ground, and red PMG. And these number 22 of 100. 1 to 10 are green to throw back to the original, and then 11 to 100 are red. So last year, if you watched the recap video, I had picked up a McDavid from 2020, and I would have preferred ideally his non-retro, but the price on this was so good that I went ahead and added this because I want to have, you know, it's a card that's numbered to 100, so it's not readily available. It's hobby only, so it's nice to have that represented in the collection with McDavid. That would leave one active. There's a Gretzky, but we don't talk about that because it's too much money. But you know, there's the third guy in that trio with, you know, it's McDavid, Ovechkin, and Crosby, and it's Sidney Crosby, who next week turns 36. So yes, Sid the Kid will be 36 next week. Again, these are number 200. Very happy to have that in the collection. So I don't really need to chase any more PMGs, so it's nice to cross that off. You know, I'd like a Bedard someday, but let's see what he does first, you know. And let's see, these were. I still am a big believer in Bobby Witt Jr., and this photo is very popular. It's a great photo. So I ran into a dealer that had the Brady Ice. He had this, which is numbered to 2022, and then which I do have a copy of this, but again, gold is gold. And he had one of these, which, you know, the centering is not perfect on these, but this one, but man, centering is a pain in the butt for this. It's almost like being true to 73 tops. And this is the image variation, because, you know, they can't call them action anymore. There's no action going on. But yeah, very happy for the price of a box. You know, for a price of a high number box, I got this, and we're going to talk about that in another video, not tonight. But yeah, that, with the wax and everything, we're going to talk about that later. So yeah, very good friend of mine who doesn't really do YouTube. No, he doesn't do YouTube. But I was able to trade up, and this is significant. Maybe I'll save that one for last. But I was talking to Enough Said Cards, Andrew, who is the pre-war non-sport genius in our circle. And I was talking to him about a particular card I was thinking of buying and asking about the price and all that, what his thoughts were. And he said, yeah, this was Saturday night, standing in the Hyatt lobby-ish area in the middle of a trade night with a few hundred people standing around because, the hobby is dead. Long live the hobby. And he thought it was a good idea. It's Saturday night. So Sunday, he said, all right, I'm going to go get it. But then, I went to the dealer that had it, and then I saw these, and I got these instead. And these cards are from 1901. And it's a Beethoven Ogden's Cigarettes, a PSA 6. These are blank backs. And of course, a Mozart in a 5. Now, I don't know enough yet. It's D bass and F bass. I guess they have different. I'll have to look into it more, but I was just happy to add these. And, unfortunately, they both have the baggies. The Mozart has the super baggy outside and inside. It is what it is. The Beethoven has that, I don't know what they're calling this now. It's like it's crimped here. It's sealed off all four sides. I guess if anything, this is decent looking. This is obviously not. And then of course, the Cy Young, which I showed before. So you've got, the different variations of what's inside the slab other than the card. But very happy that these are 122-year-old. These cards are 122 years old, 1901. Card 56 and 57. So yeah, I'm learning about these now. I think they're underappreciated. So yeah, where is that? Can't reach it. So that was Sunday. So walking around Sunday some more. I went back. I had seen this Friday and Saturday and passed on it, and I just went back and got it. It's the 2001 Bowman Chrome Jeter Gold Refractor from the Pujols Ichiro release. And these are numbered to 99, so they're not numbered to 50. I wish they were numbered to 50, but it would have been a lot more money, and I probably wouldn't own it. Yeah, this is a 22-year-old Topps Chrome Bowman Chrome Gold Refractor. It's a gold refractor. I think that's just the way to say it. So yeah, I'm just very happy to have this in the collection because it was somewhat affordable versus his Topps Chrome. Plus he's hitting. You guys know how I feel about that. Just a great looking card. Gold and in color. So then I'm walking around, like saying goodbyes, seeing if I've missed anything, and I ran across this card, and it's from 2003. It's the Tom Brady Gold Refractor from 2003 Topps Draft Picks. I have a vague recollection of these coming out in 2005 when I came back. They're not numbered, and unfortunately, it's in one of those debacle of a slab. Just terrible slab, but the baggy outside and meant for thicker cards. But it is what it is, and it's a gold refractor Tom Brady. I mean, you can't really, if these were numbered to 50, I would not be showing this to you right now because it's thousands of dollars. But this was not anywhere close to thousands of dollars, so. Able to add this, technically gold refractor, even though it's not numbered, from beautiful year in 2003, 20 years ago, when they Topps actually cared about the products they put out, and it shows. You know, this is probably in a $3 pack. So on the way out, the same seller I got the gold Jeter from, he had this in the showcase, and I thought about it, and and on the way out, I'm like, you know what? I talked to a good friend of mine, Mike, who I'll talk about in a second. And he said, yeah, why not go for it? So I did. It's the 2018 Topps Heritage Chrome Refractor. And it is super, super shiny. Number 2569 on the back. And it's just amazing. You know, I wasn't able to get the gold of the Topps Gold 700. But I was able to get this, and that doesn't mean I won't, stop trying. But, very happy to have this in the collection. I think that the build on these is nice. It's got like, it's not quite, it just looks rough, not rough, but in a bad way. But it's not etching, but it seems to have, looks like it has texture in the background. It's not, but it just looks that way. So it makes the card look that much better. So the one thing I had just mentioned that I'm going to go into now is a friend of mine who's becoming a very good friend of mine. We worked out a deal, and I'm not going into the details of the deal, but I was able to upgrade something I traded with him last year. I had traded for a 2018 Topps Chrome Sapphire Acuna in a PSA 9. So he approached me with this trade, and I couldn't say no. And I'll just show it, let it speak for itself. It's a 2018 Topps Chrome Sapphire Edition in a PSA 10. He wanted me to be in the 10 club. He kind of, Godfather, make you an offer you can't refuse type of thing. And so I was able to add this to the collection, and this just reiterates that, I know it's not cheap to go to the National. I know it can be costly to get your plane ticket, your hotel room, food, all that stuff. But I cannot reiterate how important it is to meet friends in person, make these connections, these lifelong connections. You never know how it's going to help you in your collecting journey or even in your life journey, because some of these friends I have, it's beyond cards. So it's something to keep in mind. I get it. Going to the National is expensive. No one is saying it's not. But these things you cannot do. Well, you can. I mean, it would be very difficult to make a Mantle trade on the internet. Oh, I'll send you these cards, you send me the Mantle next. No. Vice versa, no. I mean, it's something that you need to do in person. And it's something, again, you're not going to know until you see it. Hey, I need that card. Or I want that card. I really want that card. I mean, it's... Or, you're just going to, you're going to pick these type of things off. Where this was not on eBay. Or if it was, I didn't see it. Or if it was, I paid less than what it would have been if it was, purchased on eBay and then sent to me. All of that stuff. Like this refractor is not something you're really going to, without getting into the graphics of it, but it's significantly cheaper to buy that in person and then take it home.